and welcome to the Varietal Show. My name is Rory, and you're watching Varietal Literature, the YouTube channel that is just about narrative. Well, it's about lots of things, really, but tonight is a write-along stream, which means that basically I'm going to be doing something that involves some sort of structured writing exercise. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. And you can either just write on your own at home, or you can just watch this in the background if you want. But you can join in by writing it on your own. And if you really want, you can put it in the chat, the stuff that you have created. And if you do those things, I will read them aloud. As long as they're not, like, heinous. So, I don't know what you guys did for your day today, this dreary January day, but let me tell you what I did. Because I am a weird guy. What I did was I wrote a game around the idea of being, with character sheets and everything, around the idea of being a copywriter for magic items in some fantasy village. Now, I'm not going to read you all these rules. Instead, I'm just going to kind of play the game, tell you guys some results, and you're going to help me write some blurbs for magic items that we will randomly generate off for rolling tables. Things like mayonnaise that burns. So it's like an item and an effect. And it has a structure that involves me getting flashbacks to being my days of being a contractor. So if you're a contractor, content warning, it's disturbingly accurate to the experience. So that's what I'm doing today. If you are normally here for folktale or fairy tale streams, we do that on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. You should check out this week's. I don't know why. I guess maybe the icon isn't good or whatever else, but for some reason, not as many people are watching this week's stream, which is a shame because it's about an incredibly strange phenomenon in German folklore where you get ghosts that bowl. It's a bunch of versions of it. In some it's a curse, in some it's a blessing, but it's all about, like, you just get these ghosts that bowl in the afterlife, and it's a traditional German folktale thing. It's bizarre, and that's, if you like folktales, I'm sure you like bizarre. But for us tonight, what we're doing is we're doing a write-along stream. So thank you for joining me if you've joined me. And let's get to our lit game. So lit game stands for literature games. It's where I play kind of expressive games, which are just something that's somewhat structured and involves creating something in writing. Because I am a writer, I'm a published author. By the way, if you want to read my writing, go to varietal-literature.ca, which has links down below. There's a bunch of my writing up there. Anyways, this game is about being a copywriter in a fantasy setting. Copywriters are the people who write the blurbs for magical objects, whatever they may be. Well, sorry, for not magical objects. In my game, it's magic. Copywriters are the people who write blurbs for products. So if you read in, a magazine, some blurb about how, the watch that defines the man or whatever else, somebody wrote that, we generally call that person a copywriter. Copywriter is one of those terms that can be applied a lot of different directions, but that's the sense that I'm using it in. And in our game, let me get the lit card out of the way here. In our game, we're going to talk about the 4 phases. It comes in 4 phases. There's really only 2 phases where we do anything. But here's the premise. You're a copywriter for a fantasy village. Your job is to write the signs, town crier blurbs, or whatever else the client requests for their shop. Be aware, though, clients will have revisions you must make on a time limit, which I'll talk about in a moment. And depending on how many of their requests you meet, and how the dice rolls, there is some dice involved in this, you might get paid, get a bonus, or get a bad review and not get paid. As far as your motivation, if you're into the RP of a game, you must make 6 gold pieces a month to afford to live. You can do 4 jobs in a month, or 5 jobs if you do revisions in half the time. We're not going to worry about that today. Each job you can make as much as 4 gold pieces or as little as none, on average 1. There are 4 phases of play. The first is we do the request from the client, which involves me rolling on some tables. I'll deal with that when I get there. The second is the pitch, which is the main thing we're going to be doing, which is where you write and meet the requests of the client from the request phase. The third is the random revision. Now, if you've ever been a contractor, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but the random revisions are one of those requests will suddenly be reversed, and you will have 2 minutes, or we will have 2 minutes, to change the blurb enough to meet that requirement. And then the final is public reception and billing, which is basically scoring, which I won't describe ahead of time. If we get to it, we get to it. We'll see how far we make it. So, in order for us to start this game, we have to do the request phase. And that means we need to know 2 things. We need to know what is the product, and that comes in the structure of my product is an object and it causes an effect on a rolling table. And then we're going to have to get 4 special requests. So I'll show you how we do that, and then we will write our first client. And let's just set that up now. So okay. So the first thing we have to roll is what the product is, which involves me rolling a d20 twice or 2 d20s. By the way, if you're not a nerd, these are d20 dice. They're also called polyhedral dice. I rolled a 3 and an 11, which means that the client's product, according to this sheet, is a dog that causes baldness. So we have to market a dog that causes baldness. That's our magic item. The product is a dog that causes baldness. Okay, now we have to roll 2 d20s 4 times for each of these weird requests that a client will make. So, rolling my dice again. It's a 13 and a 19, which is at least once in the blurb. Use the phrase profound. Okay. I don't know if that means they want me to use it more than once. We'll have to decide as we write it. There we go. That's our first special request from our client. Let's roll those 2 dice again. See what our next one is. That is, and this is a fun song, an 8 and a 15, which is every sentence mention it's endorsed by famous wizards. Oh yeah, I forgot I wrote that. So every sentence mention it's endorsed by famous wizards. Should we name the wizards? I wonder. If you are out there in the land and you're like, man, I have a great idea, or I have a condition he should add, or whatever, join the chat. Tell me about it. I know middle of January, like, nobody shows up in chat. It's usually a bunch of ghosts watching from the quiet corners. Okay. That's a 2 and a 9. We're only going to do this one more time, and then we'll get to the writing. 2 and the 9 is never... Oh, dear. Describe it like fine wine. Okay, that's a pretty easy one. Never describe it like fine wine. I have not considered, by the way, when I designed this game, what to do if people get contradictory ones. Like, because it is possible to get always describe it like fine wine or whatever. I'll think about how to manage that. I think probably the biggest thing is just reroll. Okay, last roll, and then we'll get to the writing. It's a 14 and a 1. 14 once only. Use the word the. Oh no. Oh no, I don't. Oh man. How do I get around that? Stupid client. Whoops. Didn't copy it, did I? Okay, so our client wants us to come up with a blurb for a product that is a dog that causes baldness. So we got to figure out a way to market that. We also need to figure out a name. You must at least once use the phrase profound, easy enough. You must every sentence mention it's endorsed by famous wizards. That's okay, easy enough. You must never describe it like fine wine, so no like sensual descriptions. And you must once only use the word the, which means I can only use the once. Oh, that one, I don't know if I'm going to make that. You don't have to meet every special request, but it does put you in a tenuous position. Okay, so now we move on to our pitch. In other words, the pitch phase is like where you write your actual blurb. So first thing we need is the product name, which the client will not give you. You have to come up with yourself, and the product name is obviously, dogs and baldness. Puppy. The polishing. A polishing puppy. Revenge hound. How do we want to market that? I think you have to market it as revenge. Like you buy it for somebody to make them bald. My God. Product name. Let's just call it a polishing puppy. How about that? Okay, I've got another idea here. Okay, a polishing puppy. Now I have to use the word profound once. Mention it's endorsed by famous wizards every sentence. Never describe it like fine wine. That's easy enough. But only use the word the once. If summer is coming, do you wish, this is really hard, to be a sweaty fellow or dame? I don't know why I'm writing this like a 1940s pitch, but that's the tone, I guess. If summer is coming, do you wish to be a sweaty fellow or dame? Of course not. But well, you can pull off your pants and toss off your shirt. Oh, wait, I have to... Do you wish to be a sweaty fellow or dame, or use a product endorsed by Gandalf and other renowned wizards? Of course, you do not wish to reject a product so endorsed by wizards, by famous wizards. Every sentence. Oh, this is going to make this so long. But, well, you can pull off your pants and toss off your shirt to ease away the summer. Oh, there's the. Ease away from any summer heat. What about your head? I gotta admit, I like this game. I mean, I know I wrote it, but the truth is, when you create a game, they tend to be stupid and not work at all, and this is fun for me. Whoever's out there watching, presuming anyone is, I don't have the viewer count on. I'm assuming it's very low, given how abstract the concept is. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, is what I was going to say. What about your head? You can't just toss off your hair, can you? Well, now you can. Oh, I've got to keep saying it's endorsed by famous wizards, but, well, you can pull off your pants and toss off your shirt. What about your head? What about... Wouldn't you prefer to use something endorsed by renowned wizards to deal with that rug of hair on your head? After all, you're no famous wizard that endorses this product. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, so after all, you know what? I'm just losing the sentence. Well, now you can toss off your sweaty hair. The thing has been easier than I thought it would be. However, the wizard thing is very hard. Well, now you can toss off your sweaty hair in all seasons forever with the... That's where I'll put the then. The polishing puppy. A live hound that licks the hair. Licks hair. Tears hair from your head. That licks off your hair in a way that impresses even famous wizards like Gandalf and Merlin. By today. Okay. Hello, Big Drew. Says hello, friends. I think it might just be you, Big Drew. Okay, so we fulfilled all our requests, I think. Okay, so let's review. We got a product. We rolled for the product. The product is a dog, and it causes baldness. Its magical effect is baldness. Our client's 4 request was you must at least once use the phrase profound. I didn't do that. Okay, so if summer is coming, do you wish to be a sweaty fellow? Other renowned wizards, of course, you do not wish to reject a product. So, but well, you can pull off your pants. Big Drew says, I'm on a quick break from work. I thought I'd pop in. What are we doing? I wrote a game about marketing nonsense magic items and meeting client requests in a fantasy setting. If that doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. but it's like a bunch of rules that I actually wrote down. Okay, but well, you can pull off your pants and toss off your shirt to ease away from any summer heat. Wouldn't you prefer to use something endorsed by renowned wizards to deal with that profound rug of hair? It's weak, but I'll do it. Oh, hello, Smudge. Smudge is my kitty. Kitty, say hello. Kitty, say hello. Oh, he hates this. Every time he's like, Daddy, what are you doing? He's pushing away. Leave me alone. Okay, Smudge. You came over here, though, so, you know, can't blame me. A polishing puppy. Yeah, okay. So now comes the point in the game where the client throws a random revision at us, which means I need to roll a d4. If you've never seen a d4, it's like a little three-dimensional triangle. I think it has its own name. I mean, I know it does. I don't know what it is offhand. And I rolled a 1. That means the first request, you must at least once oh good, this is the easiest one to do. Big Drew says, I don't know if you're allowed to show your kitty on YouTube. The client, I'll read my own little blurb here on how this works. You submitted on time and met with many weird requests of your clients, but here comes the revisions. Clients never remember what they said. So in this phase, a client will reverse one of their requests and set a brutal timeline of 2 minutes to complete it. There's 2 ways to reverse a request. The way we're going to do it is you just take the most extreme opposite. So you must at least once use the phrase profound. Means changes to you must never use the phrase profound. I don't need 2 minutes to do that. So that was a pretty easy one. Our next one will probably be tougher. And that was... there. Okay, so this client, we made a request. Okay, so now we get to the scoring. Which, of course, as with all little games like this, is way too complicated. But... if we have no failures in the contract, we are eligible for 2 gold pieces. Now, a failure is either not making the revision. This was the revised one. Or not meeting any one or more of these 4 requests. Each one you don't meet counts as 1 failure. But I think we met them all. So our requests were... after the revision, you must never use the phrase profound. You must every sentence mention it's endorsed by famous wizards. You must never describe it like fine wine, which I don't think we did. And you must only use the word the once. And it's about a dog that causes baldness. And we came up with the polishing puppy who removes your hair so you can be cooler in the winter. Which means that I would say we met all, we have no failures. We're eligible for 2 gold pieces. However, we have to make what's called a hype roll. So the thing is, it's advertisement, right? So we need to see how the critical mass of people out in the world responded to it. And the way we do that is we're going to roll a d20. And I'm going to add as many successes as I had. So I had... I was able to do the 4... requests plus the 1 revision, which means I get 5 total successes in this contract, which means whatever I roll, I add a 5. And I rolled an 18, which is 23. 18 hype roll. For a total height of 23. Or I guess you could say like client satisfaction. Achieved. Okay, which means that I gain 2 gold pieces. Now, there are ways that I could double even that, but I would have to roll a 20 on the dice in the hype roll. And if I did that, I would have gotten a good review, which is a mechanic I'm not going into right now. So that's our first contract, the polishing puppy, our magic item. So let's do client 2. Because in order to make rent, I have to do 4 blurbs in a month. And earn 6 gold. Well, I need to earn 6 gold. So 4 blurbs is not required. And that means we have to roll for the product. See what the product is. Okay. So that's 2 d20s. That's a 1. And an 18. So that's a crystal that makes you dance. My product is a crystal that causes dancing. Oh, no. Reset to 1. Which means I have to roll for my requests 4 times. This is just a way to randomize, really. So it's a 16 and a 20 from the request roll. So that's a before every use of the product's name, use exclamation marks. Okay. Does it have to be grammatical? I guess we have to. And that's probably doable. You must. Before every use of the product's name, use exclamation marks. Big Drew says, as a twist, it's not a stone crystal, it's a woman named Crystal that forces you to dance. You write me that product blurb. I like that. Like someone you hire. I mean, obviously you can't right now if you're on a break from work, but maybe later. Okay, that's an 8 and a 13. 8 is every sentence. Oh, those are not. Imply its purpose is murder. Okay. The second one was every sentence too. Oh, the conspiracy. Imply its purpose is murder. That's kind of tricky, actually. Every sentence? I can't just come out and say it. I have to imply it. Every sentence. Every sentence. Maybe the woman Crystal would be more useful for that, Drew. That's a 3 and an 18. I feel like I already rolled an 18. I might re-roll that. 3 at least once. Use the word vary. Okay, no, I didn't. At least once. The at least ones aren't so bad. Okay, last request from the client. 4 and 2. Hello, Holly's house. She says, what is happening? Okay, give me a second. You come at the right time. I will explain it. Once only, use the name of the product. Ooh. Okay, well, that interplays with the other one. Ugh. Another once only. I wonder why that is. Why it just lines up that way. Use the name of the product. Okay, Holly's house. We've been hired in a fantasy setting to sell a magic item or to write an advertisement blurb for a magic item. And our magic item is a crystal that causes dancing. So we got to find an angle. We got to name it in under 500 words while meeting these 4 requests, these weird client requests, write out our blurb. So the product is a crystal that causes dancing. So we need a name for that. That is definitely where chat can help. Names are tough. Our special requests are: you must use before every use of the product's name. You must before every use of the product name use exclamation marks. However, that plays into we only get to use the name of the product once. So the rule of request 1 and 4 make it easier. Number 2 rather, the numbers just are wrong. And this doesn't give me the right to redo them. You must every sentence imply its purpose is murder. Imply though, not say. And you must at least once use the word vary, which is pretty easy. So the only one I think is going to be pretty hard here is implying its purpose is murder. Okay, so let's get to the pitch phase, which is where we write it. All right. Holly's House says it's definitely the jazzercise gem. Perfect, love it. Product name: jazzercise gem. And every sentence we have to imply that this thing is used for murder. I don't know. I wrote this stupid game, and I don't really know what that means, and I think that's what I love about it. The phrase, I mean. Okay. We only get to use the product once, name once, and we have to use exclamation marks before it, and we have to use the word vary at least once. Okay. Do you have stubborn Big Drew says Ruby rock out rocks. Do you have stubborn weight that hangs around near you in the house that you'd love to bury forever? Are you just looking for a way are you just looking for a way to have that dead weight dance itself right to death, but can't find the motivation to commit what you know you must commit? Well, now is the time. Well, now the perfect Big Drew says, back to work, sorry I can't stick around. That's okay, Big Drew. Thanks for dropping by. They also said, I'm envisioning a variety of exercise weights suspended throughout the house. Well, now the perfect... Well, now you can commit the perfect crime against your flab and other things that unwantedly hang off you while doing nothing helpful. For right, the jazzercise gem is a gem that will force whoever is near it to just keep on doing that wonderful act of dancing until the weight drops off or their heart drops them for dancing so very, very, very long. Try it out today. The perfect crime of gift giving, says Holly's House. Yeah. Did we meet our brief? You must, before every use of the product's name, use exclamation marks. We did that. You must, every sentence imply its purpose is murder. I think I did that, but I will leave it up to the chat. You must at least once use the word vary. We did more than once. And you must only use the name of the product once. Do you have stubborn weight that hangs around near you in the house that you would love, oh my God, that you'd love to bury forever? Are you just looking for a way to have that dead weight finally, I'm gonna add something here, finally die its long overdue death? Do you want your excess fat to dance itself right to death but can't find the motivation to commit what you know you must commit? Well, now you can commit that perfect crime against your flab and other things that unwantedly hang off you while doing nothing helpful. For the jazzercise gem is a stone, I guess, that will force whoever is near it to just keep on doing that wonderful act of dancing until the weight drops off or their heart drops them off for dancing such a very, very long time. Try it out today. Okay, now here comes the tricky part. As with all contract work, the client makes an arbitrary reversal on a decision, which is called the revision phase, which means I'm going to roll a little d4. Oh, damn it. Oh, it's the hardest one. Oh, no. I rolled a 2, which means the second request, they reverse. They don't remember anything. Oh, I never said implied murder. I obviously don't want it to imply murder at all, which means that this clause now becomes you must, every sentence instead of that, you must never imply its purpose is murder. And I have 2 minutes to fix the pitch. Because, of course, revisions are always done on ridiculous timelines. I have 2 minutes to fix the pitch, which I genuinely don't think I'm going to be able to do. But we'll see, because it's so woven in. Okay. And starting my timer now. Do you have stubborn weight that hangs off your hips, I guess? Hangs off your hips. Which you love, but want to maybe ask to leave for a bit? Are you looking for a way to finally are you looking for a way to gain some muscle, let's say, to gain the friend of muscle who can share the space with your flab? Do you want your excess fat to dance itself right to death, but can't find the motivation to commit when you must admit? Can you find? Do you want your excess fat to dance itself? Do you want your excess fat to have a chance to shake it to a mambo? But you just can't commit because you are... because you're too weak. This is not good. Well, now you can commit the perfect dance. Commit to that perfect dance with your flab. Oh no, I didn't make it. Well, now it's a mess. Now it's got like half of an idea in one and half of the other. Oh dear. I did not succeed on my revision. Oh, okay. Which means it comes down to scoring time. And like I said, I'm not really going to belabor everyone with scores rules, but if you have one failure, which we do, in the contract you can only earn one gold piece unless you critically succeed your hype roll. So, we had out of our requests, let me just pull this down. Four revisions, or sorry, 4 requests, 1 failed revision, equals 4 total successes out of a possible 5, and now we need to make our hype roll. Which again is a measure of how well the audience, the world, has responded to your your marketing campaign that you put out there. And I rolled what's called a critical success, a natural 20, which means good things. So it's 20 plus 4 because we got 4 total successes, so that's equals 24. Which means I did achieve client satisfaction, but because it's critical success, I get to... Critical success either reduces your failure count to 1, well, our failure count is already 1, or doubles your gold payout, or if you have no failures, doubles your gold payout and garners a good review, but I didn't have that. So I gain, instead of 1 gold piece, 2 gold pieces, for a total of 4 gold pieces, which is pretty good for 2 contracts. Again, I need 6 gold pieces as a copywriter to make my rent. I think I probably have played this out as much as the stream cares to, but I personally would play this just on my own. I'm enjoying my own game. I have absolutely no idea where to put this, but if you enjoyed this game, I don't know, give the stream a like or something, or put a comment in, and maybe I'll take the time to kind of like polish it up and put it on, I don't know, itch.io or something. If you guys don't know where that is, it's like independent games and stuff like this. Everything from video games to board games. But if I see interest, I mean, I'll put it up there, and you guys are welcome to have at it, because I don't know who this is for but me. Okay, so if you are skipping ahead just to see the results, what we did today is we played this little game where you are a copywriter for a fantasy village. It's an actual game where you roll and randomize a magic item, and then you get a bunch of weird requests from the client that you have to meet in your blurb. And I got through 2 client blurbs, and I'm going to tell you what they are. So the first thing you'll hear is the stuff that we rolled to learn. And then we'll get to the name and the actual blurb, how it came out. So our first client had a product which was a dog that causes baldness. They give us 4 special requests, all clients will, and 1 revision later. Their request was you must at least once use the phrase profound. This did get revised in the revision phase to never use the phrase profound. 2, you must every sentence mention it's endorsed by famous wizards. Number 3, you must never describe it like fine wine. And number 4, you must once only use the word the, which was the hardest one. So the product name we came up with was a polishing puppy. Again, a dog that removes hair, basically, that causes baldness. If summer is coming, do you wish to be a sweaty fellow or dame, or use a product endorsed by Gandalf and other renowned wizards? Of course you do not wish to reject a product so endorsed by famous wizards, but well, you can pull off your pants and toss off your shirt to ease away from any summer heat. Wouldn't you prefer to use something endorsed by renowned wizards to deal with that rug of hair on your head? Well, now you can toss off your sweaty hair in all seasons forever with the polishing puppy, a live hound that licks off your hair in a way that impresses even famous wizards like Gandalf and Merlin. Buy today. Oh, I just realized buy today does not meet the brief, which means I actually had a failure, which means this is inaccurate. I failed one. 4 requests. 1 failed. Which means on my hype roll, I would have still passed. And I gained 2 gold pieces. Okay, so, and then our second client blurb was... Well, actually, I would have only gained 1 gold piece in that case. Our second client blurb was a product that is a crystal that causes dancing. The special requests included you must, before every use of the product's name, use exclamation marks. Originally it said you must every sentence imply its purpose is murder. And then the revision said that I had to never imply its purpose was murder, which was quite the thing to undo. You only have 2 minutes to do it in this game, and I did not succeed in doing that. The third request was you must at least once use the word very. Easy enough. And you must once only use the name of the product. So the product name we came up with was Jazzercise Gem. And half of this pitch is going to not imply murder at all. And the other half is going to imply murder because I didn't get it all done. Do you have stubborn weight that hangs off your hips, which you love but want to maybe ask to leave for a bit? That's not what it said before. Are you just looking for a way to gain the friend of muscles who can share the space with your flab? Do you want your excess fat to have a chance to shake it to a mambo, but you just can't commit because you're too weak? Well, now you can commit to that perfect dance with your flab and other things that unwantedly hang off you while doing nothing helpful. For the Jazzercise Gem is a stone that will force whoever is near it to just keep on doing that wonderful act of dancing until the weight drops off or their heart drops them off for dancing such a very, very long time. Try it out today. I realized the try it out would have been a failure on the first one too. So I actually had 2 failures there. So 3, Rick. 2 failures makes this last roll very different. 1 fail and 1 failed revision means 3 total successes. Oh no. And my hype roll though was a nat 20, which bumps me up by 1, and which means it reduces. It doesn't matter. The point is, I only got 1 gold piece out of that, which means in total, I only got 2 gold pieces, and half the month is done because you can only do 4 contracts a month. And I need 6 gold pieces to make my rent. How would I do it? Well, I don't know in this game because we're done with this today. Holly's House says the puppy one is my absolute favorite. Oh, well, that's great. I'm glad you liked it. I really enjoyed doing this. And as I said, my New Year's resolution is to do whatever the hell I wanted on the Varietal show and not consider at all what the algorithm was wanting or what people might enjoy or understand or whatever. And this is week 2 of me doing that. So hopefully you enjoyed it, but if you didn't, this was a man enjoying himself. And isn't that something you want to see? You know, some happiness in the world. Thank you for dropping by, Big Drew, when you watch this later. And Holly's House, thank you for coming by and giving the recommendation on the name and so on. Again, let me know in the comments if you guys, or give the video a like or something, if you guys like the game and you want the full rules. I'll put it up on itch.io, where, you know, I think you can donate or something, but you can also just get it for free. I don't know, like, who is this for? But if you enjoyed the stream, well, you know, you can always buy me a coffee. That helps keep me going and offsets costs, like me holding together my broken table here. Other than that, thank you anybody who drops by and watches those weird things I do. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Just in general. I will see you on Tuesday for more ghost folklore that we're doing all through January. Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, whatever, 9:30 Eastern, and beyond that, I don't know. My name is Rory. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I need to cash out. Get out of my shop.